brought the scenes out at the Herald Examiner Film Studio. Like, I know every nook and cranny of that building, and you guys just did a beautiful job. So, are you gonna miss the Herald Examiner? I know we're gonna. And then, are we gonna see Kenlon shooting up in the next movie? Are you gonna be playing a badass gunman like we saw you for 3 seconds?
I'll be back. Shot in the head. I'll be back. No,
Ken actually makes multiple cameos in this film. He's the
janitor walking up the steps in a shirt that's a little too small for him. If you really look at it. And then I'm the extra walking in front of them when they're sitting at the bar. If you look, you see somebody. So, and I'm also the bartender who like fills the drink. And so I was just kind of like doing everything. And the key is to just listen to the actors like as much as possible. And I don't know, like and it's the same. And it really, I feel like a lot of this. I'll get to the Herald Examiner thing real quick too. But a lot of that editing really, really teaches you a lot about every other aspect of filmmaking, especially directing, oddly enough. Because editing is all about just finding the best material. And so when you're directing, you're thinking like an editor a little bit. And so that what's registering is like the best material, you're feeling that in the same way you are when you're editing. So to me, there's no real division between those processes. And so I totally steered this into another thing, but yes, I will be back as a agent. That looked pretty good coming out of there. I actually animated the elevator door behind me. That's a little other thing. So that was a little rotoscoping and everything to make it look like I'm actually coming out of the elevator because that door doesn't open. You probably know that. And then the Herald Examiner, real quick. If any of you have been there or haven't been there, and unfortunately, well, I guess I'll say unfortunately for filmmakers, it was a property that was managed for filming for Hollywood locations for the last 20 to 30 years almost. And really is just an incredible building. And the first time I walked into that building, I think it was in 2005, they were filming It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia at the time there. And I had this feeling, I'm not kidding, I was in love with the building. Brandon actually was with me. And I was like, we have to film something here. Oh man, we gotta make a movie. And of course it's gone through different can you film there, can you not film there? And Adam wrote the script without seeing that building. And when I read it, I was like, oh my gosh, and actually I talked to Brandon about it and he's like, that sounds like the Herald Examiner. And so then Brian thankfully came on. But I wish I could make 15 sequels to Synapse in that building because it had a lot to offer and even more probably than this. So thank you.
Question back here.
Hi, I really like the way you weave the memories of Mrs. Stafford throughout the film. And that actress just lit up the screen. Who is that actress?
Right here.
Right here,
Laura.
And where did she come from?
Here's your hand. There she is.
Shamam, Liam.
Thank you. Yeah, Lauren, we met through Brian, and we she just definitely on camera just has this amazing radiance, and there's some of my favorite shots in the movie are with Lauren. There's the one where Adam's sitting for a second in the memory in the middle of the movie, and she walks by and touches his hand, and then there's this great shot of her in slow motion kind of moving by and looking at him, and then even when she moves in front of the shot when he's playing with his son outside, and it just kind of has this angelic quality, this almost otherworldly quality to it. It's amazing. So thank you, Lauren.
Very good, Lauren. Very mysterious. It definitely, every time we cut to Lauren there, it really brings it.
One thing, actually, I almost threw it on the behind the scenes, but there's a part when she appears to him in the hotel room when they're fighting near the beginning, and she's like, "Get your gun." And we were all filming it, and it gave everybody in the room a chill when she said that line.
Is Marcus still here?
Yeah, he's right there.
Bye, Marcus. Who doesn't pull his punches? Thanks, Marcus. No, Marcus was the guy who sneaks in behind me when I got the gun on the door, and we have that fight when I see Lauren. and we're fighting each other. He's banging me up against the thing, and he's like, should we have a safe word? And I'm like, no, just go. And I'm like, okay, we need a safe word. And then he gets me down, and I turn, and Lauren's like, kill him, get your gun. And me and Mark is like, and just we both stopped, and Ken's like, what are you doing? Keep going. I'm like, she's scary. So yeah, that's a true story.
One more question. Henry Simmons here with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Any Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? I think when I'm close to that mic, that's my. The new season's coming along. Anything you can kind of tell us without spoiling anything, but just to look forward to? Put you on the spot.
Okay. Listen to this again.
Just a little teaser that you're at liberty by ABC to go ahead and just maybe tell the crowd a little bit about the upcoming season. Can you tell us anything?
I don't know if anybody knows about Inhumans.
Inhumans! Nope.
Yeah, there's going to be, we're going to explore that.
All right.
A bit more. That's all I can say. I mean, they're tough.
I know, they make you sign pretty hardcore NDAs. I was just testing you. There's a lawyer for ABC. He passed the test. Give it up. Give it up for him. Yes. They are brutal. They are brutal with their NDAs. We have to sign them now. We have to sign NDAs. We have a show which shall remain nameless over at Union Station, and if it's a security officer, site coordinator, engineer, anybody, they're fanatical. They're putting non-disclosure agreements in front of anybody who comes in contact with the set. So it is pretty tough. Any questions over here? Anybody else over here? Questions? Questions? We got some questions over here.
First off, I want to say I really did enjoy it, and I was really kind of going into it with high hopes, and a lot of times I'm kind of sad that it's not where it was at. And I really felt like it was a really good roller coaster. I've been doing film critics for about a year and a half now with my cousin here, and we have our own YouTube channel. He sees about 300 plus movies a year, and so I mean, being a videophile, we really crack down on movies, and so. I'd say I really liked it, but I had one thing that really stood out, and I had to ask is, where did the brick come from that was under the cover?
I have a great story about that.
I was just there.
So I can just go.
Dana. So, that brick belongs to Dana Hunt, who is the Synapse enforcer lady who's on the Synapse spokesperson who's in the commercial. Dana's very paranoid about her car rolling away on flat surfaces. That defies gravity and laws of physics. But she always has this freaking brick. Whether we wanted to put it in the film. But on top of that, though, no, that's an actual thing, sir. People use it, they do that. They carry, I mean, I did that. I carried around a brick because I had a piece of crap Chevy Nova, and I would just put the brick under the tire so it wouldn't roll. Yeah, the Nova. My brother knows the Nova.
And the brick symbolizes paranoia in general, which this movie has a lot of. So
the brick is a symbol of paranoia. So yeah, we had to stick the brick in there. Where did the brick come from? Yeah, I know. And it's kind of tongue-in-cheek too, because when 702 says, "What happened?" and Willie Warren's like, "I don't know, it's a freaking brick." You know, it's like that thing.
Hey Ken.
Oh yeah.
How you doing, buddy?
Hey, how you doing?
So, having worked with you over the past year and seeing all the stress you've been going through, I wanted to know, on a scale from 1 to Diet Coke, what kind of relief are you feeling now that the movie's done and you get to watch it and have people watch it and enjoy it with you?
It's thank you for that question. It's crazy. I mean, it's definitely this. You know, anybody who's worked freelance or done those type of things artistically knows that the work basically hangs over you 24/7, 365. You kind of think about it, you dream about it, and until it's done, you kind of can't really stop thinking about the pressure to do it. And this was just a monumental thing, even more than I could imagine. And I consider myself fairly tough and like I'd say adaptable. So I was just jumping into it and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna edit this whole thing. And the second the editing sat before me, it was just like, wow, where do I even start? So for 2 years, that has basically been there. And then on top, Alec produces videos through Green Glow Films, and we've done seven Above and Beyond videos together. Yeah. We have 2 actresses from the We're All We Need video with us. And so getting to this moment and this night and being able to show, you know, people that I love and admire, and being able to share it. Well, thank you. Being able to share it you know, it's always there's a little bit of a nerve-wracking experience, but not in terms of the film. I feel like the movie is exactly really the movie that I, as a director, wanted to make, and so so I'm just excited. I want everybody to see it. I just want to show everyone. So tell all your friends about Synapse. Share the trailer and all those things.
Before that, real quick, the crew. Because I don't know if anybody's gonna get to that. We developed like this, and Ken put together this like Swiss Army knife of a crew that was amazing. Rusty, yeah, Rusty Raven, who had to leave. I know, had to leave, but Rusty was like amazing. This guy was incredible. We had Matthew Brown. What was Matthew? Yeah, crazy legs, Matthew Brown, running around with the boom pole, just crazy legging it. That was amazing. And then everybody else that helped, Mona Mosayed, where are you? She left. Dana wore multiple hats too. She jumped in.
Don't get me wrong, I'd love to have a massive crew of hundreds of people, but me and Rusty, like I never felt actually like I was like without something. He really was, he was always, the second I called cut, always standing right next to me and was able to take the camera, change the lenses within a minute or two, and we were back shooting again. So it was awesome.
So what inspired the color and the lighting in the film?
Oh, thank you, yes. We just went with a bit of a minimal look in terms of the first 2 acts, essentially, which take place, within the span of, say, 10 to 12 hours. Natural daylight, just a lot of it, and I don't know, the red camera for me, I feel like picks up a great image and really can work in this kind of natural, moody quality. I think one of the things, if it's okay for me to express my opinion, a lot of people, when they do an independent film, they want the lighting to be so perfect. And sometimes it can come across a little like film schoolish in a weird way. Things are overlit. I think that, you want to work in almost like what artists refer to as a chiaroscuro type of look, where it's very dark and then you have these certain images popping through. So the hive was entirely lit by Rusty. I had no input in that. I was like, just do it, man. Do it the way you want to light this thing. And he was like, okay. And 6 minutes later, the lighting. And so when you see that lighting move, like there's kind of like a light moving and it looks, it's Rusty holding a cardboard box and he cut holes in it and held it in front of the thing, and he just stands there and he was just massaging that light. And Dana helped out, and even when they're in the club and they're like, I got my kind of Michael Bay shots and spinning around them, and they're like, I got down. Rusty's off camera with a laser pointer, just dancing, and getting that look of like the light moving around, and then in post I color it and add, lens flare to kind of give that club feel and look, but I don't know, I shot it the way, like literally just kind of instinctual completely, and just followed it. And that's one of the reasons I do like to work the camera, and I can work without working the camera, but I do like to work the camera because I feel like I'm in the movie. I feel like I'm not just sitting back as an observer, I'm experiencing and I feel like the truth of what's happening in the scene comes out so much more clear when I'm like standing there with the actors, sweating it out, and moving the camera and just kind of following the instinct on those situations. So So who knows?
We got time for one more question. By turn back.
How you doing, guys? First of all, congratulations, Ken. I've known you for a couple of years now, and I've known you were working on this very hard, and to see it finished, it's a great feeling as a friend. My question is a two-parter. First, there's so many stunts, or in the movie, all this action, and you did it in 11 days. How did you put all that together? Was there an expert there on set, or?
I'll answer this question right here. I put my arm around the expert. Adam largely, and that's why I threw that in the behind the scenes, you know, so the gun play and the gun handling and those things, and Adam is a man who knows how to do a lot of that stuff, so be careful. No. You know, to kind of get that proficiency, and everybody, I feel, looks quite proficient in what they're doing, and that was Adam. Really showing people to make sure that, you know, it comes across that way. The action, Adam did all his own. I mean, there's no stuntman at all, obviously, in this, other than Adam being his own stuntman. And at a certain point, and I have it in the behind the scenes, I almost threw it in, but Adam is going through showing all the bruises on his body during the filming, and then he's lifting up his pants and he's pulling up his shirt and all these things, and you see like the battle scars of the film, and he did it. And Adam will do it, you know, a lot of times you work with actors and it's like, hey, you know, I need to get that shot one more time, and you can kind of see them like, you know, do it. And Adam, it's just like, he'll come up and he's just, he's dying, or he's, you know, he's breathing heavy, he's bleeding, everything, and it's like, and I think he may have broke something, and I'm like, can I get that one more time? Let's do it, man, let's do this. Woo! You know, and so, and that suit that he's wearing in the movie was Adam's suit, and it was one suit, and every single day, every day, he or we would drive up to Burbank to this 24-hour dry cleaners and get it dry cleaned and re-sewed, and every day this lady was like, what are you guys doing? It's coming back every day covered in blood and more patches and more everything, and so it's just unbelievable dedication. And I probably took advantage of that a little bit, because I'm like, here's this invincible guy, and I'm like, just do this again, dude, right through the window, do it, action!
No, yeah. I mean, I was in a former life, I was a bodyguard, I was a close protection specialist, so I trained with military guys, and you know, I've been doing MMA ever since I was a kid, and so, you know, like all that stuff. So the fight choreography and the gunplay and working with the actors really closely, especially Sophina. She had you know, a lot of work. Yeah, she was amazing. She had issues with the gun. She kept holding it like a cop, because Betancourt isn't better. But we did. And just getting like banged up and just keeping going for it. But yeah, broke a finger, dislocated my shoulder diving through that window, sliced open my leg, and all kinds of really good, awesome stuff.
And yet was just like the Energizer Bunny.
Okay, but you did. This is a story you guys need to hear. When he's like, "Oh, it's all about the we were shooting," and then I was like, "Oh, do it again." There was one time, the scene with Marcus, where Marcus and I are killing each other in that room. We'd done that scene like, gosh, like run through that fight choreography like just a bazillion times. And Ken was getting just every angle and anything he could do. And Marcus is beat and just like sweats like just coming down, and I'm beat and just thrashed and rug burns, chunks of skin off my knees and stuff. It was awesome. And Ken's like, cut. All right, I think we got it. Hey Adam, come here real quick. My parents just showed up to set. Do you think you could run through that just for them? One more time.
It was Mother's Day.
It was Mother's Day.
I was like, I want my mom to see something.
And I look at Marcus, I'm like, dude, Mother's Day present? And he's like, seriously? And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And I'm like, let's like really go for it. And so, yeah, and I actually think that shot where Marcus hucks me like a rag doll into the freaking wall, that was the Mother's Day present. That was the Mother's Day shot. Thanks, Mom.
So the second part to my question is something really, really personal as an actor, and I think I speak for a lot of us here. When we first came in, there was a table with amazing-looking sandwiches and cookies, and now it's gone. Where did it go? Thank you. Thank you.
That was a memory implant. It's not real. You need to go get something to eat. You're probably hungry. Oh, yeah.
Well, thank you everybody for coming out again tonight. Let's give it up one more time. Kevin Clark, Aaron Simon, Sophia Brown, Doug Bravo, Henry Simmons, and Joey Synapse, ladies and gentlemen.